Friday Fun Live, and I hope this finds you enjoying yourself in a peaceful situation. I just have to confess, I'm a little bit, or more than a little bit, just in prayerful mode for fellow friends in the Ukraine. We have you in our thoughts and our prayers as we go forward. We are going to have a good day today, but just wanted to start off by just asking for prayer for those people there. We have we know people there, so just praying for them. Our love. We also have a Love Crafts team, that a company that where I have my patterns. We do. There is a team of people working there. So just again, just want to start off. Just can't go into a lot of detail. I don't want to do that, but just please prayers for the situation. That's what I ask to start off with. But we are in South Carolina, broadcasting live, and it is a beautiful sunny day outside. I'm really enjoying this warmer weather. Short sleeves, no jackets. It's for this person from Maryland. It's pretty nice. Or at least that's where I live now. But anyway, so really enjoying that. So thank you guys for being in the chat. There's so many people waiting here. Thank you for that. Marie, it's so good to see you, my friend. I've got something special for you. So stay tuned, okay? I have a little something for you. And Angie, because Marie, you're the first in the chat, and I just want to bless you with something here in just a bit. Angie, I'm going to say hello to Angie and Terry and Love to Craft, to Lashira Crochet and Archer Nace. She says, hugs from Terry in Cleveland. One day I'll be able to remember all these names, Terry, but forgive me for needing the reminder. Terry Redmond, I remember that now, but some days I don't. We have Discovering Hope from snowy Rochester, New York. Yeah, my guys in Maryland had quite a winter storm advisory yesterday too, so thinking of you all. Not everybody can be in the South, I understand. Buenos dias, Alex. So glad you are here. And Johanna's Creations from the Netherlands. Wow. And computer just jumped a bit. Hold on a second. Joan. She says, I'm trying to make American Girl doll clothes. Wow, that is so cool. Hannah would be interested in that. We have Joan. W, is everyone crocheting today? If so, what? Yeah, and guys, if you ever want to just post things directly on my Facebook page, it does not even have to be my pattern. I'm not that persnickety, I promise you. Please post on my Facebook page. There's no hard and fast rules. I do like to stay away from spam. I am, but definitely, post what you're working on. I love to see that. And we have Sandra. It's good to talk to you earlier today, Sandra. She's working on my first crochet sweater, and Archer Nace. Wow, she's says Bonnie's Granny Square. Okay, and Suzanne says, sewing in ends from a multicolored blanket. I was very naughty and did not do it as I moved along. Very tedious, but almost done. Suzanne, you're a good company. I hate doing that. I don't do it as I go along either. I prefer to do it once it's done. And I'm okay with that. I just have to tie myself to the couch while I do it so that I get them all done. And we have Michelle. And she says, I'm wearing my first sweater. Yay, Michelle. It's such a great feeling, isn't it, when you finish something and you get to wear it? I love it. We have Heather. She's continuing to work on my mosaic crochet along with several other works in progress. Yes, and we have Marilyn crocheting another diamond and chiffon throw. Wow, lots going on here. We have Grace in our chat from a sunny but cold Northwest Washington. Annette from South Carolina. Hey, Annette. And neighbor. And Hannah. Hey, Hannah. Thank you for being in the chat, dear. Hannah is our faithful and strong and sweet moderator, keeping the chat the way it ought to be. Thank you. And yes, Suzanne, thank you. Fervent prayer for Ukraine. Yeah, I can't even tell you the story without crying about a church there, but just please pray, especially for God's people there. We'll pray for everybody. I mean, but we know some American missionaries that are staying there, and they know this may cost them their lives. So it's as close as I can get to that topic without totally losing it. So I'm probably going to get them demonetized if we talk about that. I'm not going to mention that three-letter W word, but you know the concerns, y'all. I know you're informed, so, and I know your heart's to bless. So definitely bring it before the throne of grace. We have Marita and Archer Ace. She says, I have a ton of Ukrainian friends in Cleveland. I'm offering prayers and intercession to Our Lady. Excellent. Just let's stick together, guys, and just keep it up. I mean, I am such a lover of freedom. Oh, I can't go down that road. But you know our hearts. My dad fought for the freedom of the people in South Korea, and that pretty much was a big part of his life. So anyway, enough said. Freedom is good. Oppression is bad. We have Sue in our chat, Yay Sue, and Elaine, and Joni. She says, I'm correcting a ripple miscount and doing a V-stitch scarf. If there's any project that is, I don't want to say hard, it's easy. Ripples are easy, but man, you've got to be boom, 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 exact on that count. I have messed up those myself as well, just kind of doodling along and not paying attention. Just miss one, and they'll just enough to make those little chevrons a little bit crooked. Amy says, yay, it's Friday. Yay. I'm counting down the days. I have about 2 more weeks here, then I get to go home. I'm enjoying the time here, I promise you, with the weather like this. I mean, who could complain about it? I do miss my honey in Maryland. So I'm looking forward to getting back to Maryland because we have a special thing that we're going to do together as a couple. Haven't done that in like 2.5 years. So really excited about that. I'll tell you about that in a couple weeks, if it happens. But anyway, excited. Even my kids don't know what it is. Sorry, Hannah. I don't know. Maybe Hannah knows. She has to know. But I don't think anybody else does. So, big secret. And we have Deborah from a rainy southern Louisiana, and Sheila from overcast Brooklyn, B. Chris Scott from Utah. Wow, we've got a lot of states here. And Dora from Cyprus. Wow, Dora, thank you for joining us. That's great. I might get to see your country in the fall. Don't know if it's going to happen yet, but it's something that we've had planned and canceled for during the whole COVID season. But I might get to see your beautiful place. We'll see. So that is so cool that there's somebody here from Cyprus. Let's see. Yes, Linda, thank you for your prayers. That is good. From Appleton, Wisconsin. And Roberta Klein. Hey, Roberta. She says, ripples aren't easy, but classic. Yes, they are. And why does this thing not want to cooperate with me here? I just got a lot of things loaded here at the same time. We have Jane Chapman. Sheila says she just finished the Celtic mandala throw. Yes, please do post it on my Facebook page. I would love to see it. Or better yet, if you want me to post it, I can always forward your post on Facebook. But if you send it to me in Messenger, that's wonderful. But I can't take the photos from Messenger without it being like really pixelated and compromised visually. So if you all ever have something you want me to post, I would love, just send it to me directly, bonniebay@me.com, or just post directly to my Facebook page publicly if you want it to be shared, okay? Because again, you can send it to me in Messenger, that's fine, but I'll have to ask for you to send it again if I decide to post it on the page. And these things really do encourage others to try these so that they know that I'm not the only one who has done it, if that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Wanda. Look at Wanda Gordon praying for a friend in the chat. How sweet of you to do that. And we've been praying for you guys who had the prayer request last week. Hannah wrote them down for me, and that was fantastic. Hannah, if you want to do that on the computer for me again this week, that really works for me. I'm going backwards in the chat here. Gee whiz, I missed a lot of people already. Oh, we have, okay, Wanda Gordon. Yes, I saw 2 posts from Wanda now. Yeah, I'm catching up here. From Bahama, North Carolina. Hey, neighbor. And Richard says, yes, thank God it's Friday. Absolutely. And Swati, hey, my friend from LA. So looking forward to meeting you, girl. If we can work that out at some point. Hope everyone is well, she says. Going forward, I might not always be able to be there because of a new work meeting, but I will watch what I can and catch up later. We'll just get everybody in the work meeting, crocheting or knitting, and then tell them you have to take a break between 12 and 1. I'm playing with you there, but yeah. That's my mission, at least. Get everybody to put down their phone, pick up a hook, pick up some yarn, and really enjoy the benefits. And speaking of which, I got this really cool article that Tanike, if I'm saying that right, from Australia sent me earlier this week. And, again, it's an article that was published there in the UK. And seniors.com-au, that's the source of the article. I might as well quote that because I don't want to get in trouble for stealing anything. Just want to quote the source. And again, just another account of someone mentioning the health benefits. It's not just because we're selfish and want to play with yarn all the time. It's a very therapeutic. It says here that the act of creating crochet has been proven to reduce stress and anxiety, which could also help explain its rise during COVID. Experts say the repetitive hand movements involved in crochet can help the brain release serotonin, which makes us feel calmer and more positive. Plus, the colors and textures involved can offer additional tactile and visual satisfaction. Amen and amen. We all know that. We've known that for years, but I think it's just really cool that the experts, outside of the fiber industry are recognizing and validating this. I mean, this has been validated for years, but actually for generations. Our grandmothers' knew about this, but it's really cool. And what else she sent me, I'll show you this. It's a black and white picture. I'll show you just a second, but she said that this one site that it was talking about has Crochet Sneakers. So if you want a pair of crochet sneakers, get your wallet out. They're only $330. This is for entertainment value for us, okay? And then an Australian jewelry designer, Lucy Folk, is offering crochet look gold earrings for $395. For the home, cushions are available on Crafting Marketplace, Etsy for less than $50, or splash out on designer Ashish Gupta's $885 cushion on Matches Fashion. Oh my goodness. Aren't you glad you're smarter? We're smarter than that. I mean, we don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Shoot, we can make our own. But here's some pictures. I'm sorry they're not in color. I don't have a color printer here in South Carolina. But thought it was kind of funny. This, oh yeah, here's the multiple hundreds of dollars cushion. You guys could make one of those. Easy breezy. Well, maybe not easy breezy, but you guys could do stuff like this. It's just kind of funny to me that it's like the fashion world's like, oh, look at that, they all had to do was talk to us, and we could have told them all about it, right? So anyway, I wanted to share that to you. Just a little bit. I'll get back to the chat in just a second. I'm not going to finish it, but I'm going to do my best. This Monday, video number 3 of the Throw of Grace will be coming out. All of the videos have been up on the Watch channel for a couple weeks now. So if you're a Watch subscriber, you haven't had to wait. The pattern is available at our Lovecraft store. You can get all that information in the video description below. And if you wanted to use the yarn that I use, you don't have to. It's just worsted weight acrylic, okay? But it's nice worsted weight acrylic, and they do have really nice colors with the Cascade Anthem. But it's not the only yarn on the planet. I totally get that. I don't benefit either way. So it's really whatever you want to use is fine. Use what is available in your country. in your area, in your region, and you pick the colors and the things that you like. Um, but if you are in the Columbia, Maryland area, or just in the greater DC area, and you want to visit So Original Yarn Store, definitely visit her store. She's a wonderful lady, and they do have all the colors in stock, last I heard. So if you wanted to get the colors from her, you can, or you can just try, yeah, again, whatever colors you want. I wanted to go ahead and show you. I put the sample here. This is what this looks like. It's not done, obviously, it's in progress. Um, I'm hoping to finish this up by next week, but we'll see. And I'm using a smaller yarn. This is actually with a DK weight yarn. So if you wanted to make it with a DK weight, it would make a very lovely lap blanket, I think, for like shut-ins, people who are, confined to a wheelchair, or if you just want a small blanket to put on yourself when you're sitting on the couch or on your, your favorite place in the living room. So this is, it makes a lighter weight if you use DK. And I also went down to a size H crochet hook. I just bumped the hook down one size, and I'm really enjoying this color. I showed this to you last week. I am using this Amigo. It's 100% acrylic. It is a DK weight. I'm going to be evaluating this in a future video, so you're going to want to maybe be on the lookout for that. I haven't made the video yet, but it'll be in a few weeks. And I will let you know then what I think of this yarn. So far, so good. So far, I've been through about 6 or 7, I think, of these. I don't know exactly, but I've been through several, and I haven't found any knots yet. I'm just started, though, so this is my first experience with this yarn. But I always like to keep track of how many knots does this yarn have, because there's a lot of knotty yarn out there, and I just don't enjoy that. It just doesn't bless me when you have to hide extra strands in your work, if you know what I'm talking about. But when I ordered this yarn, I thought I was getting worsted weight. It was my bad. I didn't check the fine print. I just figured, a yarn that's just, their base yarn, usually of most companies is, well, of a lot of the ones that I use, their base yarn is a worsted weight. But it turns out the base yarn for this is based in the Netherlands, is DK weight. So if you want to get the Amigo in worsted weight, you have to order the XL or extra large version of this, and that will give you the worsted weight. And I'm thinking I'd like to do another blanket, maybe using their XL, if nothing else, just to check it out to see if it's something I like. Because a lot of times these different yarn companies have different types of colorways, different colors you can select from. And I just like to see what they have. And, it's just kind of fun to, it's like trying a new restaurant every now and then. It's kind of fun to try something different, just to see what's out there so that you can see what your options are. So I'll be giving you a report on that in the coming future. But I wanted to wait until I experienced a lot more of it before I made any conclusions. I didn't touch it and say, oh, it's fantastic. I wanted to work with it a little bit. One of the classes I have is about half. It's starting to fill up a little bit. The other 2 classes are pretty wide open if you wanted to sign up for those. This is an in-person, face-to-face, in the same classroom kind of a class. We're getting back to real life again, which I am so excited about. I'm sure COVID protocol will be in place, so things will be done in as safe as manner as possible. This is going to be in Loveland, Colorado, April 20th through the 23rd. I've already got my hotel, my tickets paid for, rental car ready, ready to go, ready to head out west. Check the link below in the video description for more information. I'm teaching a class on big and bold cables. I'm teaching a class on how to design your own poncho or shawl with texturized stitches, and that's going to be a 6-hour class. You're going to learn a lot of design elements. You're not going to go away with a completed poncho. That's going to take more hours after class work, but you're going to know how to do it. You're going to know how to make your own ideas and design them. You're going to learn the parameters that you need to stay within. And there's another class I'm going to be teaching on how to turn easy fabric and other things into your own personal designed scarf or shawl. That again is a 6-hour class, has a lot of design elements, and a lot of it is my take on designing. So it's the process that I go through when designing. You're gonna kind of get inside my head a little bit. And it's going to be 6 hours. Like I said, there's a break for lunch in between. We do take little breaks every hour. I promise you don't have to sit there for 6 hours and just listen. You're going to be listening. You're going to be working. I think it's going to be fun. It's also going to be my first. This is going to be my very first maiden voyage on these classes, and I'm really excited about that. So let me know, and I'm going to go ahead and take a chance. I haven't signed a contract on this yet, but there's a chance I could be teaching in Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh Fiber Festival in August. Really excited about that. That's really close to my home. That's only like 4 hours away. So excited about that possibility. It's not a totally done deal yet, but I am working on that. As soon as that becomes the real thing, I'll let you know. And if any of you all are in the New Orleans, Louisiana, Alabama, around in those areas of the country, check out the classes at CGOA, Crochet Guild of America, July 20th through the 23rd, I believe it is. And in the summer in New Orleans, hey, what could go wrong, right? Well, we've had to cancel this like 2 different times because of COVID. So let's just hope this one goes and there are no disturbances in the Atlantic or in the Gulf of Mexico there. Real excited about that. I've never been to New Orleans, so I'm looking forward to going. And I'm going to be teaching several classes there. They have not been open just yet, but about mid-March, those classes are going to be opening. And those tend to fill up fairly fast. So just to let you know, we had full classes when I taught a few years ago in Portland, so that was really fun and exciting. So let's just hope you guys can come just come to experience CGOA. Even if you don't take a class, don't tell them I said that. Even if you don't sign up for classes, I know it is an investment, but even if you just want to come and enjoy the atmosphere there and the marketplace, do and be sure that you get a ticket. This is for CGOA. And also for the Yarn Fest, make sure you get a ticket for the dinner that closes the event up at the end. There's usually a fashion show, and it's usually a lot of fun, lots and lots of fun. And there might be some special music at the one at Yarn Fest, so stay tuned for that. But if you get a chance to come to New Orleans, please, I've been to this conference so many times. Never disappoints. It's just great just hanging out with you guys. It is a very unique situation. Well, Marie, I said I had something for you, and I wanted to give you whatever is in this box. If you're interested. If you're not interested in it, let me know and I can pass it on to somebody else, or I might just keep it for myself. I forgot to do this last week. I had this to open last week and it sat on the floor and I just started talking and completely forgot. I do have the hard and fast prices on this now. Let me tell you the updated prices, and even with the updates, the increases, I just want to tell you that it's always a deal with what you get in these boxes. This is a monthly thing. They mail to you. It's a subscription based. If you're interested, the price is for this particular, the regular mailing is $25.99 plus $7.95 shipping. That's if you're in the US. That brings it to a total of $33.94 if you live in the US. If you are international, the price of shipping is like $4 more. So it would be a total price of $37.94. So $38 if you're international. But still, I'll tell you, when you go to the yarn store, what you pay for this, you can pay that easily for one skein of yarn or one hank of yarn. Well, let me go ahead. I'm not trying to push this on you. I'm just saying, I've enjoyed these. That's basically what I'm trying to say. If you have never done this and want to try it for a month, you can. And if you don't like it, you can just cancel it, and they're not going to keep sending them. You just cancel it online. You can get 20% off your first box if you use the coupon code, which is in the video description. It's Bonnie20. And that's only if this is your first time. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we have. I did open it already. I had to do that so I could, anyway, I just like to do that. So here is a card. Let me get my glasses out again. It's called Land and Sea. And the colorway can vary. There are different colors depending on the crate that you get. And then you also get, you can go online, or you can just, click that with your phone. And I better not do that on while I'm doing this. But anyway, you also get patterns. When you go to their website, you get patterns where you can take the yarn that they sent you. You can either do a knit or a crochet pattern. And you also get sock patterns that are available with the other kits. They have a sock and knit crochet club monthly, and that's been reduced to $21.99 plus the $6.95 shipping. So that comes to about $28, $29. But to get 2 hanks of sock weight yarn, that actually might be a better deal for you all. If you like to do shawls and scarves and things, sock weight is fantastic for crochet scarves. But anyway, so you do get like 4 different patterns that were created for this yarn. Okay, stop talking and show us the yarn. Ooh, this is nice. You have, 2 of these. All right, so what is it? It's Vita Lana Ascendance. It's a yarn by Knit Crate, and this color is called Limestone. It's 100% Peruvian Highland wool, sport weight. 328 yards or 300 meters each. So that would be a total of 600 meters total with both of these. So you can do, so a lot of nice garments with that, accessories and so forth. This is a hand wash, lay flat to dry. It's a very interesting yarn too, because it's I don't know if you can even, I won't be able to see it, but it's made up of chains rather than, a single fiber. It's a chain or a knitted fiber. This is nice. It says it's a DK weight, but it feels like a very heavy DK. I would almost say it's a light worsted weight. So Marie, 2 of these, maybe we could get together at some point. And also they included a little needle. Isn't that cool? You can use that to hide loose ends. That's very, very beautiful packaging they use there. I guess you could even use that to hold on to your needles too, to keep them from getting lost. It's too cute to just throw away because it's a little sheet there. All right, so that is Knit Crate. I finally remembered. And I do have some other yarn I want to show you, and some other goodies too. I promised I would. Okay, and Hannah. Okay, I'm sorry, Hannah. I'm not forgetting you. Okay, she wants to know, when can you say the Fiber Fest is again? Okay, thank you. Let me go ahead. I'll put this in here with that later. The Interweave Yarn Fest in Loveland, Colorado is April 20th through the 23rd. Crochet Guild of America, or CGOA, in New Orleans, Louisiana, is July 20th through the 23rd. It's just right after my anniversary. Coming up on 34 years this year. Yay. It feels like just yesterday, really. And in Pittsburgh, it's August. Let me look at my calendar, because I just learning about this one. Well, poo. I didn't put it. Hold on a second. Let me look it up. Let me look it up for you all. Come on. Our internet here is at a slow crawl, so I'm really glad things haven't I'm not going to say it. Don't want to jinx anything. Okay, this is going to be August 25th through the 27th at the Doubletree by Hilton in Green Tree, Pennsylvania. Okay, that's outside Pittsburgh. Let me go ahead and copy this link, and I'm going to put the link in the video in the chat. Okay, again, that's not a firm anything. No contracts have been signed there, but we are in discussions about it. We are negotiating and trying to figure out what we can work out, because they have to go through committees and so forth to get approval. So fingers crossed. I would love to go there. I've always wanted to go there, but and I've applied there in the past. They had different people running the show over the past years. I've applied a couple of times, but you know, got thumbs down. But that's okay. You know, things happen for a reason, and I'm cool with that. Well, let me show you some yarn. I got to visit the Knit and Pearl in Myrtle Beach and stop by and saw Martina, because I am working on sweaters. I will tell you about a sweater. I'm working on a sweater. I just finished a sweater that would be really great for early spring. It's made of wool, and I really like the way it came out. It fits me so well. You know, whenever you put a sweater on and you're like, yes, it's one of those for me. I'm excited about it. So I thought, let me see if I can find some fingering weight. It was made with fingering weight yarn, so it's a lighter weight sweater, but it's going to be great for the winter or, you know, spring when you're ready to wear some colors. But I decided to get some cotton yarn to make the same sweater but without sleeves for the summer. So I've got this for the collar portion, and I'm going to match it up with some of this. This is some yarn I found at Knit Picks, very economically priced. It's a fingering weight. It's like 75% cotton, 25% acrylic. I can do 25% acrylic in a blend. That's not going to make me heat up too much. I'm not an acrylic fan for wearing things, but if it's 75% cotton, that works. This is the blend of bamboo and cotton and a little bit of nylon, I think. But this, I think these are going to look really fun together. We're going to see. So another experiment in progress. I'm hoping to have this ready to show you in a week or two. It's going to take me longer than that to get it released, obviously, because I'll have to go through the writing process and the editing process and the video process. But looking forward to rolling that out. So let me go ahead and do some more show and tell. I am hopelessly lost in this chat. I'm so sorry. Hannah is sending me, let me get back to Hannah. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm caught up with Hannah. This is coming March 7th. This is the Eileen shawl. This is an asymmetrical shawl. You can wear around your shoulders. You can wear it as a big, nice, floofy scarf. You can do lots and lots of things with this. You know, if you bring in some of those things from Jewel Designs, there's a video. If you all haven't seen it, you have to watch it at some point, because I'm really excited about these things that my friend Laura has. She sells these attachments that really do help your crochet scarves and things to stay in place all day, and you don't have to fidget with them, and they look amazing, made of leather and this, what she calls I forget the name of the metal material that she uses, but they're artisan kind of things and really beautiful, and they keep things in place and they look great. So you're going to want to check that out. But this was really, really fun. I told you about the yarn. I'm going to do another shout out to a local yarn indie dyer from Columbia, Maryland. Check out her yarn. It's really amazing. It's called Banshee Fiber Studio. There should be a link in the video description below. I used 3 hanks of her yarn at my expense. This is not a kickback recommendation. This is just, I'm recommending this because I loved working with this yarn. It was superwash merino wool mixed with, I think, 10% yak and 10% nylon. And I don't know about the yak. No, it's not nylon. It's hold on, let me try that again. It's merino wool mixed with a little bit of yak and silk. Forget the nylon, it's silk. So I think those combined just really make this nice. It hasn't pilled. I haven't worn it a lot, but I have worn it some. And so far there really isn't any pilling. I think the silk and the blend really helps it to be strong. And of course it's going to be breathable because it's natural fibers. And the way this combo takes the dye, it just gives it, let me go ahead and show you. It gives it this beautiful marbling effect, but yet it doesn't interfere too much with the texture of the stitches that I want it to be, there. So you can, again, this is one of those things, you can wear it in the front, you can wrap it around your shoulders, and you can get some of those nice fixtures and connect it however you want. It's an asymmetrical design, like I said. So that's coming March 7th. Now I have a surprise shawl to show you. I'm real excited about this one too. And again, now that I think about it, going back to the knit crate, if you all are looking for some really nice sock yarn, that might be something fun if you like getting boxes in the mail. Again, I'm not pushing that hard. It's just an idea. But I also encourage you, if you can, support your local yarn stores. If you want them to be there in the future, they need customers. So just go to your local yarn store, buy what the local folks are making. If you can. I mean, I know that's pretty cool. Now, what I'm about to show you here is going to feature yarn that's not available. I'm sorry. But it is a very basic color, and you might be able to find an alternative locally. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. I bought this yarn from a gal in South Carolina at a festival. Actually, it was a Crochet Guild of America festival. And I bought a lot of yarn from her, and I just had it in my stash. And I pulled this out. Okay, so this is called Kiss Me, I'm Irish crochet scarf or shawl. Again, I say scarf or shawl because you can make these once you get the pattern established, you can make them as big or as little as you want. Quite honestly, you are in charge. But I am really, 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 really excited about this one. It's so green. And I'm gonna have this released just prior to St. Patrick's Day. I love St. Patrick and the story of his life and just what he did. And it's kind of funny. I taught kids in elementary school. I was a substitute teacher for several years locally. And I love teaching on St. Patrick's Day. I was taught music primarily. And when I was able to do that, I was able to play some Irish music for my kids and do lots of fun stuff. But we always talked about St. Patrick because he was such a great guy and lived a sacrificial life, thinking of others. The people that kidnapped him and brought him away to Ireland, because he was an Englishman, I believe. I could be getting that wrong, but he was kidnapped basically and had to live in this foreign place. Well, then he was able to later go escape and get back home. But what does he do? He becomes educated, and then he brings the gospel back to the very people who kidnapped him. I mean, how amazing is that? And when I remember asking the kids if they'd ever heard about him, they said, "Oh yeah, he ran all the snakes out of Ireland." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" I'm not sure where that story or that thing ever came from, but yeah, that's all these kids knew about him. So I was really excited about it. But anyway, I wanted to show you. I just love this yarn that I used. It's a blend of superwash merino and cashmere and nylon. That's where I was getting confused with the nylon. But let me show you the cabling in this. This is a brand new cable. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so you have one twist in the middle, and then it turns to two twists, and then back to one, and then back to two. Lots and lots of fun to do. And again, it is an asymmetrical shawl. And one of the things in the class that I'll be teaching in how to design your own shawl, we're going to be talking about asymmetrical shawls a lot and how to design them. We're also going to be talking about standard, standard sized shawls and how to control uh, the sizing. So anyway, lots of fun things. And okay, so let me tell you, when I recorded this, I'm done with the recording and I am in the editing, writing process of this scarf right now. What I did, I started out with some other yarn that our friend Emily sent me because Emily with Lamb Shop Kits they're now dyeing their own yarn. And so she sent me some yarn to experiment. This was some of their first yarn, and I did enjoy this quite a bit. And so this is recorded using this variegated yarn. So let me show you how this looks. It's not as easy to see the cabling. It's easier to see it in person than it is through media, but you could just see the beautiful colorway that this is. Okay, and this is called Vermont. Is it Fall in Vermont or something like that? Something to do with leaves, but it's quite lovely. And this was a single ply. Sometimes just the way the sun hits it, it'll change whether you can see the cabling. Okay, so Autumn in Vermont. Okay, that's it. Autumn in Vermont. That's what it is. I saw Emily's post there. So this is and this took 2 hanks for the scarf. If I wanted to make it a bigger shawl, I could have used 3, but I did just use 2 of these just to let Emily know. So, and if you are interested in just seeing what they have, check out their site, lambshopkits.com. I think there is a link in the video description for that as well. If you're looking for some hand-dyed yarn and supporting a young lady in Washington who's also a stay-at-home mom. So, I mean, just something to consider. But again, I do encourage you all to check locally as well. If you want your local yarn stores to remain there, they've got to have business. I mean, I'm not trying to push real hard on that, but find one that's, if you have one in your area, do make sure that they're friendly to crocheters. So I have met some that I really wanted to become their customer. They were not too far from my house, within a 30-minute drive. And I won't even mention, I can't mention the city because it's the only one there. If I mention the name of the town, you're going to know who I'm talking about, and I don't want to give a bad report, but they were just mean to me. They did not even want to talk to me because I was a crocheter. So if you have a place like that, try to be nice to them, educate them, and buy your yarn somewhere else. That's just my advice, and that's what I did. I tried to talk with her. Would you be interested in maybe do a book signing or something? And she just looked at me and like, we don't crochet. I'm like, okay, and I walked out. But the good news is that has only been my experience one time. Every other place I've been to has been fantastic and welcoming. So, especially So Original, Lana, Sweat Lana, she loves crochet, or she crochets, she knits, she does them both. And in fact, I'd said this before, in her language, there's only one word that covers the fiber arts. That would be for knitting or crocheting. There's just one word for it. They don't have 2 words, separate words. And translated, their words would be knitting with needles or knitting with a hook. So they categorize it into the same category even. So there's no reason for us to be divided against each other, right? I mean, that's just, I do both. It's just kind of crazy. I do now. I mean, it's crazy. But anyway, thank you, Hannah. I'm seeing your encouraging words. Girl, you are so good. I do need to finish up early today, so I'm probably not going to get to everybody. But let me try. Let me try. I am way behind here. We have somebody called Whippy Chick Crochet. That is a real cool name. I didn't have to say that. Thank you for being here. Yeah, she says, first time here. Well, welcome. I'm sorry it took me so long to welcome you, Whippy Chick Crochet. Um, we have Eileen from Missouri. Ooh, have we got a scarf for you? Oh, thank you, Suzanne. She just donated $10 to our next crochet song, which goes to our charity. Thank you so much. I so appreciate that. Um, I'm gonna have to, let me go ahead and add that into our list because I have to write this down. Okay, so that brings us up to $20. Okay, so whenever we hit $100, we send in a donation just to let you all know that money is 100% of that. And I put a little bit more to cover some of the fees. It goes to either Rancho 3M, which is an orphanage in Guadalupe, Mexico, or it goes to Shriners Hospital for Children. Those are my two hand-picked charities for very important reasons. One is I have been to Rancho 3M. I have gotten sick at Rancho 3M. I have lived there in 108-degree weather during July, and we have personal friends, including my mother-in-law, who have been patients at Shriners Hospital for Children. Yes, they have been in business for probably close to 100 years. So, and serving children and their families for free, and we are all for that. So anyway, just to let you all know. We have Lynn from Indiana, yay, and Manon from north of France. Hey Manon, sorry it took me so long to get to you, friend. And Beth from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Elaine from, she says, I'm from Florida. This is my first time watching you live. Well, Elaine, sorry it took me so long, but welcome. Florida is my home state. I was born and raised in Hialeah, and I can't wait to go back. But life is keeping me here, but I will get there eventually. I have family there I need to visit. We have Sheila. Okay, I think I read that earlier, but she said she just finished the Celtic mandala throw and she will post it. I did remember, do remember reading that. And we have Roberta Klein from, says, all those from North Carolina. That's how foggy weather. Yep. A couple days ago we had foggy weather here in the South. It was actually kind of eerie and beautiful, and didn't last but till about 10 o'clock. But yeah. Okay, Annette wants to know if I would consider doing a class on your watch channel for the big and bold cables. Annette, maybe once things settle down with the traveling later this year, I might consider doing that. But honestly, you can probably patch that together with a lot of the videos that are on my YouTube channel, but I know that's not it's not very seamless, you know. But I definitely need to do that at some point. And Stephanie says, how do we know what stitches can be used together? Or how do we know if it has to be an odd or even number of stitches for each stitch type? That's a great question. I'm going to be covering some of that in the classes that I'll be teaching, but a lot of it has to do with each stitch has its own stitch multiple. And when you combine the stitches, you have to go back to your 7th and 8th grade math. Do you remember least common denominators and greatest common factors? Do you remember those math words? Well, you get to drag them out, dust them off, and that's what you do. You figure out, because like for example, the Celtic cable throw, every single day I get at least 1 or 2 questions from somebody on my YouTube channel saying, I want to make this longer. What is the multiple? What do I got to do? And let me address that for just a second. Thank you for that question, Stephanie. This is good. And my answer is always, I mean, this happens to me a couple times a week. My answer is usually, and it is for the Celtic cable throw, if you want to make that longer, you need to add multiples of 12, but get this, to the existing starting chain. Okay? And then when I tell people that, the email I usually get back is they get a number, and they say, but that's not a multiple of 12. And I'm like, that's correct. It's not a multiple of 12. Because whenever you have a multiple to start a throw like that with all those different stitches, you first have to determine, again, the least, I guess the greatest common the least common multiple. Yeah, because that's usually a bigger number. The least common multiple of all those numbers of the stitches. And then you have to consider, how does my first row start? How does my first row end? And there are other stitches sometimes that are like a multiple of 3 plus 2, for example. Or some stitches are just a straight multiple. Some stitches are, let's say, a multiple of 3 plus 1 or 6 plus 2. So the 2 is always having to deal with how the stitch ends with the row. So as a designer, you have to put your math hat on and figure that out. And sometimes you have to add a stitch here or there on the end just to make it all balance out. But whenever I say add a multiple of 8 or add a multiples of 12 to the starting chain or to the original starting chain, I know it's not going to be a straight multiple at the end. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's not going to be an absolute multiple, of course not, because the starting chain has already been pre-calculated for the starting and ending of the rows, which with more than 770 videos, I can't remember exactly how I ended and started every design. But I can look at a pattern and I can tell you right off the multiple of the stitches used. But you have to start with that foundational chain and then add the additional multiples to that. Okay, so I'll save some of you an email telling me, but that's not a straight multiple, and it's like, I understand that. So anyway, but yeah, it gets a little complicated, Stephanie, and when it gets to, I was talking with somebody on the phone today, and she was asking me, so how do you determine this many stitches for this part of the sweater or whatever? And I had to use a scary word. It's like algebra. Yeah, algebra, usually algebra 1. You don't have to go into algebra 2, but just algebra 1 that you learned in anywhere from 7th to 9th grade, maybe for most of us. You get to dust it off and apply it to real life. Isn't that cool? All those years, been sitting in the corner somewhere, if you're not in the engineering or the math field or computers, if you don't do heavy math things. But yeah, crochet designers, you need to know a little. If you're gonna size things, you definitely need some algebra. But thank God, no calculus. Oh, thank you, Lord Jesus. I did take that in high school, but that should probably be investigated. But don't. Okay. Wanda Gordon asked if you can have the yardage for the new scarf or shawl, the green and autumn ones. Absolutely, absolutely. I used for this one. Wanda, great question. I should have said that. I used 2 hanks that were 400 yards each, so the total on this, and I had a little bit, I had a little bit of the ball left, 800 yards. So that's why I was thinking, like with these knit crate, if you are a knit crate person, you already get the knit crates each month, and you're thinking, well, I could really use some more scarf yarn. Just go online and have them change to the sock boxes. I think they're a little bit less now. So the monthly price has been reduced. So to $21.99 plus $6.95. So for under $30, you could have a really nice scarf made of wool. So yeah, that's a deal, by the way. I go to yarn stores a lot, and when you buy a hank of 400 yarn, sock yarn, fingering weight, it's rarely under $20. I know if you go to Hobby Lobby, they do have some hand-dyed sock weight yarn, and it's like under $20. I think it's around $15 to $18. I need to go there again. I haven't been there in a while. So just to let you know, I mean, you can get it cheaper, but even at Hobby Lobby, you're going to pay at least what it's going to cost you about the same as knit crate. And but anyway, just throwing that out. I'm not benefiting financially, from either. Well, from knit crate, I do in a slight way do benefit if you have a membership there, but never feel pressure from me. Okay, I'm just sharing that because it's good yarn. If it wasn't good yarn, I would drop it like a hot potato. I promise, because nobody is paying me to say anything that I don't want to say. Um, all right, I am missing a lot of people in the chat today. I've got about 5 minutes to go. Um, so I'm sorry if I didn't get to your comment, but I will take a look at this. Let me just see if I have, we have Yolis in the chat. I just try to hit on any names I haven't seen yet. Let's see. We have Letha. I haven't seen that name from Northern Louisiana. Letha, yeah. Hey, check out the CGOA conference, Letha. Even if you don't sign up for classes, you want to be there. It's a lot of fun to do that. Whippy Chip Crochet says, when I asked for suggestions for cable stitch tutorials, I received an overwhelming response for your channel. Yay! The algorithm is blessing me. Thank you. I do have a lot of stuff like that on the channel, but it's just because I love it and I just didn't see anybody else doing it for forever. Of course, now a lot of people, it's catching on, which is, it's about time. Also, I don't know if you saw my t-shirt, guys. This is up in my what's it called? My Teespring store. So if you're looking for a crochet shirt that you want to go out and about, the weather's getting better. We have long sleeves, short sleeves. Check it out. And if you do buy a shirt and it's not right or something not great about it, please let me know. I really want to know that. Okay. The customer service, I found them to be very, very good. So if there's ever a problem, let me know. I want to know about that because I can drop that. If the quality control is not where I want it to be, we can just say sayonara to it. But I did have a lot of fun with this one because we're coming out with a lot of translations on our crochet videos with the closed captions. All right. Oh, we got lots and lots of people. I'm so sorry I'm not going to get to everybody. But I do need to end early because Hannah has to be somewhere at 1:30, 2 o'clock. So I do need to release her. But I did want to read something to you, a word of encouragement. Now this is more, I will say this, the one that I've picked, I was so affected by this. I just thought I need to... Okay, Stephanie, hold on a second. Oh, Stephanie, but there's no such thing as a dumb question here, my friend. So how should we know if we should chain 1 or 2 at the end of a row? Does it depend on your height where you will start your next stitch? Absolutely. If I chain 2, then I would start in the 3rd stitch. Stephanie, I would say that's actually an excellent question. It's not a dumb question at all. A lot of it depends on what stitch you're going to be crocheting the next round or the next row. If it's a single crochet, usually you just chain 1 to start. If it's a double crochet, I like to chain 2, but that's my personal preference. Always check the pattern to see what the pattern says, because a double crochet, you can have 3 chains or you can have 2 chains. I prefer 2 because I don't count the chain as a stitch, and I don't like it to be super prominent in my work. That's why I choose to do it that way. Craft Yarn Council of America suggests 3 stitches, but again, that will leave a little bit of a gap. So it really depends on the design you're crocheting. It will vary, whether it's 2 or 3, that will vary. If you're using treble, it could be as many as 4 chains. And you're talking some big gaps at that point. But that's an excellent question. I would just say follow the pattern closely, and if you're developing your own pattern, then you get to make the decision. Okay, but it is always in reference to matching the height of the stitch that comes on that next row. Okay, great question. Okay, and Renee wants to know what's the weight of the green yarn. Okay, this is sock or fingering weight. Number 1. That's just fingering or sock weight yarn. It's very light, but look at the. Let me hold this a second. I mean, look at the drape in this. I mean, this is just wonderful. I mean, the drape that you get, and and with the cashmere, I mean, who doesn't like cashmere? There's only 10% cashmere, but it's enough. It's enough to give it an added soft feel, and a little bit of nylon in there. Nylon is added for strength because cashmere is a very soft fiber, wouldn't be as strong. So yeah, fingering weight. And fingering weights are wonderful. And I prefer that for a lot of the texturized crocheted scarves that I do, just because you can get big and bold with your cables without it getting super chunky, you know. So, well, let me go ahead and read this again. This is from my friend, Mr. Spurgeon, who has been with the Lord for probably over 100 years. My favorite, one of my favorite preachers of the past. And this is more geared towards people who are of the faith, people who are Christians. But you know, if that's not you, I think it can still encourage you. And but it is very much a Christ-centered passage, and it's based on the verse in the book of Mark 10, verse 21, where he says, "Take up the cross and follow me." And you know, I cannot help but think of the people right now in the Ukraine doing that in a very literal, well, still figuratively, but in a real sense, facing difficulties. But at the same time, I know many of us can be home with, you know, loved ones who are suffering, who are ailing. Maybe you're recovering from COVID, or I know we are praying for people undergoing cancer treatment in our little group right here. And you know, that's just the beginning. And I know a friend of ours last week, we're praying for her who has been in a body cast, neurological, you know, surgery. And you just don't know sometimes what life is going to throw at you. But let me go ahead and read this. "You do not have the making of your own cross, although unbelief is a master carpenter at cross making. Neither are you permitted to choose your own cross." Or in reference to cross, it's like the things that you will suffer is what it's referring to. "Although self-will would fain be Lord and Master, but your cross is prepared and appointed for you by divine love, and you are cheerfully to accept it. You are to take up the cross as your chosen badge and burden, and not to stand caviling at it. This night Jesus bids you to submit your shoulder to his easy yoke. Do not kick at it in petulance, or trample on it in vainglory, or fall under it in despair, or run away from it in fear, but take it up like a true follower of Jesus. Jesus was a cross bearer. He leads the way in the path of sorrow. Surely you could not desire a better guide. And if you carried a cross, what nobler burden would you desire? The Via Crucis is the way of safety. Fear not to tread its thorny paths. Beloved, the cross is not made of feathers or lined with velvet. It is heavy and galling to disobedient shoulders, but it is not an iron cross, though your fears have painted it with iron colors. It is a wooden cross, and a man can carry it. For the man of sorrows tried the load. Take up your cross, and by the power of the Spirit of God, you will soon be so in love with it that, like Moses, you would not exchange the reproach of Christ for all the treasures of Egypt. Remember that Jesus carried it, and it will smell sweetly. I can testify the truth to that statement so many times. Remember that it will soon be followed by the crown, and the thought of the coming weight of glory will greatly lighten the present heaviness of trouble. The Lord help you to bow your spirit in submission to the divine will ere you fall asleep this night, that waking with tomorrow's sun, you may go forth to the day's cross with the holy and submissive spirit which becomes a follower of the crucified. That just really spoke to me this week, and just, thinking on, the way things in our lives just don't go the way we imagined or want, but, sometimes they actually go better. and despite the wavy road, it's never a straight line. But again, just thinking again, for my Ukrainian friends, and they're there, and some may not make it through the night. So just be in prayer for them, please. We have word from one particular church families that things are not really good right now, but they are facing it. Instead of leaving to come back to the States, they're staying. So pray for them. They are Americans, but they cannot leave the people they serve. So anyway, well, on that note, I just, if nothing else, this puts our little troubles into perspective, does it not? And when our yarn gets tied in a knot or something, so what? We get a little messed up on a yarn row or something, there are bigger fish to fry for sure. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for being here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week. God bless. Bye-bye.